கூட்டி விடு. திருப்பி விட.
Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu
மா
Ma Vidvishavahai Om
சாந்தி.
Shanti Shanti.
கதைக்கிறேன். ஜூமிலே இருக்கிறேன். ஜூமிலே இருக்கிறேன். பிறகு கதைக்கிறேன்.
Okay, Sairam everyone. So we will continue from where we left off, but I thought before we proceed, we will go over the names, whatever we have covered once. It's an opportunity for us to remember and also say Swami's name. Om Bhagavan Shri Sathya Sai Babaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sathya Swarupaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satya Dharma Parayanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Varadaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satpurushaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Satya Gunatmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sadhu Vardhanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sadhu Jana Poshanaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarvajnaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarvajana Priyaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarva Shakti Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarveshaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarva Sangha Parityagine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarvantaryatne Namaha. Sarvantaryamine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Mahimatmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Maheshwara Swarupaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Partigramodbhavaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Partikshetra Nivasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Yashakhaya Shirdivasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Jodi Adipalli Somapaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bharadwaja Rishi Gotraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Bhakta Vatsalaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Apantaratmane Namaha. Om Shri Sai Avatara Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Sarva Bhaya Nivarine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Apastamba Sutraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Abhaya Pradaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Ratnakara Vamshodbhavaya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Shirdi Sai Abheda Shaktyavatārāya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Shankaraya Namaha. Om Shri Sai Shirdi Sai Murtaye Namaha. Om Shri Sai Dwarakamayi Vasine Namaha. Om Shri Sai Chitravati Tata Puttaparthi Viharine Namaha. Sairam everyone. So this is what we have covered so far, 33 names. If everyone is fine, if there are any questions from the previous week's coverage, please let me know. We can discuss, otherwise we will move on, proceed. Okay, we will continue, Saira. The 34th name, I will read slowly once. Om Shri Sai Shakti Pradaya Namaha. Two compound consonants, Bhakti, which is the same which comes in Bhakti and so on, and Pra, I think which you all are familiar already. But I think this name is reasonably simple, and I don't think anyone makes any mistakes. So the simple noun is Shakti Pradaha. Okay. The Shakti, I think everyone knows. I think anyone from Indian background would understand what Shakti is. Anything energy, vigor, it's much more than energy. It's the power which comes out of us. So also, I think that's another. I think I should use the word power also. Energy, power, I would say. Vigor, all that is Shakti. Whatever we are able to do, that power, energy, vigor is given by the Lord. Brother, the itself is giver. Brother means he gives it in many different ways. Pra actually is all encompassing. Like for example, the word Prakriti means Kriti means what is made. Prakriti means whatever we see around us is Prakriti, okay, which is everywhere. Prapancham means 5 elements are Pancha elements. Prapancham means the entire vast universe of Prapancham, the 5 elements which are spread everywhere, and they also mix and match in many different ways. So all that is called Pra. Pra has that expansion and wide coverage. So Prada means he gives all kinds of energy in all ways at all times. So that's the meaning of this name. Om Shri Sai Shakti Pradaya Namaha. Prostration to the one who gives Shakti. All that is in this nature and creation also you can say. Okay, so I think I will go on to the next name. Om Shri Sai Sharanagata Tranaya Namaha. Sharanagata Tranaya Namaha. So though I think the only compound consonant to read will be Tra. I think all of you know the name, but this is Tra with and Ra. Okay. The simple this is the fourth vibhakti, as I said, to that Sharanagata Trana. So the simple noun is Sharanagata Tranaha. Okay. So there are three distinct words which appear in this name. Sharana, Agata, Tranaha. Sharana means to take surrender. Sharana means surrender. Okay. I have put the word those who so that it makes some meaning in English. Sharana means anyone who takes refuge. Sharana. Agata. Agata means to come. Having come. Agata means they have come to take surrender. So having come, those who surrender. Okay. That's the meaning. Charana Agata. Tranaha. Tranaha means one who protects, saves, takes one across. So multiple meanings of this. It takes you across the problem, difficulties. Takes you past that. It saves you, rescues you. So all those meanings come in the word Tranaha. So it's the meaning can be said prostration to the savior of those who come and surrender. Agata means come, whoever have come. Sharana Agata means who have come to surrender, or who have come and surrendered. All of them he protects. So that's the meaning of this word. I will read once again. Sharanagata Tranaya Namaha. Okay. We'll go to the next name. Om Shri Sai Anandaya Namaha. The compound consonant here is in and da. Anandaya Namaha. The simple name is Anandaha. Anandaha. Okay. So it's a very simple, I think everyone knows the meaning. Anandaha is one who is blissful, or one who is bliss itself. Bliss is him. Such Chit Anandam. You know, the Atman is given those three characteristics, Sat and Chit and Anandam. It's always in bliss. So is synonymous, is bliss itself. So to that bliss we are bowing down. Prostration to the one who is bliss. Okay, that's blissful in whichever way we want to call it. So I think that's a simple one also. So I will move on to the next one. Om Shri Sai Ananda Daya Namaha. So it's quite similar. The only thing is Daya, Da has come in between. So the simple noun, this is fourth vibhakti, to that Ananda Daya, to that Ananda Daha. So the simple name is Ananda Daha. Ananda Daha. So Ananda is bliss. Daha means one who gives. I think you must have come across this in Varadaha. Varadaya. Varadaha means one who gives varam, boons, or whatever we ask. So here, who gives bliss? Not only is bliss, he also gives bliss. So prostration to the giver of bliss. It's the meaning I will put down. So it should be okay. We'll go to the. I hope I am not going too fast because these are simple names. So I thought I will. Okay, there are two questions. Brother Kumar, please go ahead.
Good morning, Brother Rona. I always, maybe I might be the only one, when to use which na. That's where I have a problem, because there are nas, because there are na, that.
So, yeah, so in Sanskrit, there are only two nas. I think because we are from Tamil, so we have supposed to have three nas. The na which comes after the tha,
Yeah.
then the na which comes after the. Okay, and then there's another na which use like ara. Okay, so there are three variations in Tamil, but usually the na which comes after the and the are more or less pronounced the same way because both of them are dental. So the tongue touches the teeth, behind the teeth, and the na in Tamil they will say moondu suli, the one which has three circles. So that is the tongue actually. It's after the da also we'll say, okay. So the tongue actually points upwards. So those are the two differences. In Sanskrit, there's only dental and cerebral. Na, which we say with the tongue touching the behind the teeth. That's na, which comes in the tha varga. Tha, the, na. Okay, that's what we have here. And the other one is in the ta varga. Ta, da, na. Okay. So actually in Sanskrit, if you see, generally, not generally, that's the way you will see, wherever tha varga comes, because in this case, if you look at it, this the is a dental variety. Okay, tha varga will say. So that means all the sounds are produced with the tongue behind the teeth or touching the teeth. So the na which comes will be pronounced the same way. Wherever you have, that means one day I will spend just on na, how, and in Tamil, in Sanskrit, you will also find this na will change into na, which is the cerebral one, if there are certain letters which precede it. One day I will do a class on just on that. For example, in Sanskrit, Ramena, okay, that Ramena, Krishnena, even the word Krishna, that na has come because of the two letters which preceded, which is R and Sh. In Krishna, the R actually is the tongue pointing upwards. Sh is also pointing upwards. So that's how it becomes na. The name Ram, also, because the Ram is the letter Ra is there, then na becomes na. There's a rule for that. One day I will spend time on that. So actually in Sanskrit, the way they say is the letters which precede have an impact on the sound which produced afterwards. So to a great extent, actually, it's, if you look at it, it's very, very, you can say very scientifically thought out. What is the most easy way for the sound to flow? So for now, you can say wherever the tha varga comes, usually the na is dental. Okay. In Tamil also it is same thing. Actually, sometimes in Tamil, the na which comes after the and the na which comes after ra, both of them are dental, are sometimes interchangeably used. Like anubhavam, they will use both the nas. But I just on side remarks, sorry, because your background is Tamil, I thought I would just mention it as an example. I don't know what I've spoken a lot, but I don't know whether it answers your question. But I will do a separate session on after we finish the Ashwatram. I will do a session on some intricacies of certain sound changes in Sanskrit, if that's okay.
Oh, it did. Thank you, brother. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, Brother Vimalesan, you have some questions.
Yes, Sairam. You have explained to some extent this, but I would like to be a little bit more clear about this. Now, this one is Om Sri Sai Anandadaya Namaha. But earlier you said Shakti. It could have been Shakti Daya, but it was Shakti Pradaya. Then another one, I think, this Arogya Pradaya Namaha. So what is the difference? Is Ananda Pradaya is not the Anandadaya, Shakti Pradaya. So I would like to know where Pradaya and where Daya comes. Is there any?
I think it's a very good question, brother. It's I will just share my understanding. I don't think that's the only explanation. For example, Varadaya is also there, Varapradaya is also there. These are both you will come across. Ananda Daya is very common. Ananda Pradaya is not very common. My understanding is, for example, if you take Shakti, there is some multiplicity in Shakti. In this entire world is creation, so there's an element of multiplicity, like Shiva and Shakti. Shiva is supposed to be one, but Shakti manifests in multiple ways. So Shakti Pradaya is my understanding. Whereas Ananda, bliss is only one.
Okay.
So you can have bliss of all kinds. Sukha Pradaya, you can say. Sukha means different happiness. Sukha Daya also can be said, but Sukha Pradaya is more common because there are all different kinds of happiness we get. So I think it depends on what is being given.
Arogya Pradaya.
Arogya also, there you can have mental health, physical health. You can also say that Arogya Daya means, if you compare everything and say it's total health, you can say Ananda Daya. So both are used. I think what makes sense to whoever has come up with the name, they have come up with it, because you will come across both the names, brother. So it depends on the one who is praying, what they want to pray and how they want to pray.
So is there only is there? I understand to some extent what you were saying earlier. You said Prakriti, so pra has that all-encompassing this thing. But is it the usage of these pra? Is it because of the meter also, meter or syllable?
It could be, but in this case, in the mantra, this is prose, okay. In a poetry, yes, they would use, but Swami would say, if the real kavi, the real poet, will use it very, meaningfully. Every sound uttered, like if you take the Bhagavad Gita or any sutras, every letter has a meaning. I don't think there is any superfluous usage. They don't just look at meter and add matras.
Okay.
That's the way Swami would say. I think that's what I remember reading in the Shirdi Sai Sathya, where Shirdi Sai Baba is telling, it is in spiritual texts, it is not that, let's increase the matra, decrease the matra. They would appropriately choose. But in this case, there's no matra per se, because there is no meter, no chandas in Ashtotram. So it's free flow.
Okay.
So I don't think it matters here. Here, I think it depends on the bhava of the person who came up with the name. Okay, that's my understanding, brother.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
there's no right answer to this question.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
okay. Thank you.
So if everyone is okay, we will go to the next one. Om Shri Sai Artha Trana Parayanaya Namaha. Artha Trana Parayanaya Namaha. So Parayanaya is the fourth vibhakti, means to that Artha Trana Parayana. So the simple noun is Artha Trana Parayanaha. Okay. So again, here also there are three words: Artha Trana Parayanaha. I think we have come across these two, Trana and Parayanaha, before. So we look at Artha. Artha means distressed, oppressed, or I would also put just afflicted, general affliction, I would say. So, in all of us have this tendency of artha, means we are distressed by something. Krishna divides the types of devotees into 4 categories: arti, artha-arti, jijnasu, and jnani. So arti means anyone who is afflicted by physical, bodily, mental, all types of afflictions, who are suffering from them, they are called artis. Okay. So when an arti turns a devotee, that becomes an artha devotee, artha bhakta. Okay. That means who are always telling the Lord, Lord, I have this problem. Can you solve it? You know. This just because I've introduced other names, I think we have discussed it. Arthi means one who is afflicted by lack of wealth, or one who with the wealth also people can be afflicted. When we have a lot of money, also it can, that itself can be an affliction. So arthi means the affliction or oppression caused by wealth of coin, money, finance. So people come to the Lord when there are financial difficulties. So that is not physical, mental, or anything like that. That means your livelihood or things with which you live, there's a problem with them, they also go. So, but in this case, are these physical, mental, spiritual afflictions of the person. When such people come to them, he protects them, saves them. Trana is to save them, gets them over the problem. Parayana means one who is engaged. He is always busy with that. I think Sarvadharma Parayanaya, we would say. You know, Parayana by itself also can mean someone who protects, one who is busy with Dharma. You can say in this case, he is busy with saving the devotees who are afflicted with all kinds of problems. So, Artha, Trana, Parayanaya. So, in Puranas, we get stories of many devotees, whenever they are in trouble, they call out to the Lord, and the Lord comes and helps. Draupadi, Gajendra, all of them, you know, they call out to the Lord and he comes. So, Artha, Trana, Parayanaya, Parayanaha. So, to that Lord we pray, we bow down. Prostration to the one who is always engaged in saving the distressed. So, it's Artha, Trana, Parayanaya, Namaha. So, that's okay. I think we'll go to the next one. Om Shri Sai Anatha Nathaya Namaha. You have to pay attention to the Tha, which is the second letter in the Tha Varga, so it has to be aspirated. Anatha Nathaya Namaha. Anatha Nathaya Namaha. So the simple noun is Anatha Nathaha. Anatha Nathaha. We'll look at the meaning. Anatha. Natha means Lord. Means no Lord. It's a negative. I think we also looked at abhaya, where is actually a negation of the bhaya. So it's a negation of the natha. So usually when no one is there above you, Lord or master, someone, so then you are an orphan without a master. So all people who are orphans or forlorn, you know, who are abandoned, all of them are called anatha. I mean, no one to look after. Natha is one who looks after. Anatha means no one looks after. So anatha for the orphans without anyone to look after. Nathaha means the Lord or master. Okay, this is one meaning. So everyone will say, I don't have anyone, no one is there, no father, no mother, we don't have anything. Oh Lord, you are the only refuge. They are orphans. Brother Dasan, you can ask the question.
But a simple thing, the translation on the bottom, Sri Sai and Paranayan Namaha. I think the Para is not there.
Where?
Om Sri Sakti, Om Sri Sai, Arthanath, Paraya.
Yeah, it's a repeat of number 38, the one before.
The transliteration, you have put the
Oh, I
same
see. Oh,
following.
sorry. Okay. Thank you, brother. Okay. That got, I didn't put the transliteration. Very good. Give me a minute. I will just fix it. There was when I was working on it yesterday night. There was actually my file had crashed. I thought at that point roughly 1 second. Okay, fixed, brother. Thank you very much. So I think so. The transliteration is needed. It looks like I should. Thank you. Okay, so Natha is Lord. So there's another meaning which Swami gives, because the Lord is the only Anatha, means he doesn't have anyone above him. So you can say the Lord who does not have a Lord above him. So Anatha, Natha. Anatha means without a master. The Lord without the master. Without a master is also Anatha, Natha. So because Swami always says, apparently once a king sent some gift to Saint Tyagaraja, and he asked the people who brought, what did you all bring? Why? So they said, you are an anatha, you are suffering, you don't have anyone to look after. So the king has sent. So then apparently he said, no, I have a lord. I have an atha. The one who doesn't have anyone is the Lord himself. So I think you let's send the gift to him. There's no one who can give anything, so you give it to Rama. He is my Natha, but there's no one, he doesn't have a Lord. So that's also another meaning which we can say, the Lord who is without anyone above him. Okay. So I thought I would just mention that. We'll go to the next one. Om Shri Sai Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. Asahaya Sahayaya Namaha. The simple name is Asahaya Sahayaha. Asahaya Sahayaha. We can look at the meaning, which is similar to Anatha actually. Sahaya means help. Anyone who helps. Asahaya means no help. Sahaya. So he's a helper for the helpless. When somebody, there's another usage, Asahaya Sura. That's, I don't know whether not here, not in this context, but one who, who's very, very, who can do anything. It's called Asahaya Sura. Means without any help, he can do anything. Superman. Also called Asahaya Sura is called. So the Lord is actually without any helper also. He can help you without any help. Because he is the help himself. So that way also you can take the meaning. One who does not have any help. He doesn't need any help, but he can help. So Asahaya, Sahaya. So prostration to the helper, to the helpless. So that's the meaning I have given. I think it should be pretty simple. I don't think there's any issue with reading this. There are no complicated letters or anything like that. So we'll go to the next one. Om Shri Sai Loka Bandhavaya Namaha. Just pay attention. This is the fourth letter. This is the third one. Okay, this is not aspirated ba. Sometimes people think Sanskrit everything has to be aspirated, and they will say Bandhavaya. It's not. It's ba, not ba. It's not aspirated, but this dha is aspirated. That's the fourth letter in the tha varga. This is the third letter in the pa varga. Third letter in the pa varga is ba. Fourth letter in the tha varga is dha. Okay, bandhavaya namaha. Loka bandhavaya namaha. So bandhavaya is fourth vibhakti. The simple noun is loka bandhavaha. Loka bandhavaha. Oh, here also I made a mistake. Sorry, I'll pause 1 second. Okay, you can see I have fixed it now. The transliteration is okay now. So we'll look at the meaning. Loka bandhavaha. Loka bandhavaha has two words, loka and bandhavaha. Let's look at loka. Loka is world, generally we'll say. But it also collection of people, everyone in this world is also called loka. Okay, people also, when generally the word loka is used, it also means all the people, all the living beings are also covered. Okay. So it's used both ways. So I thought I would just mention it. Bandhavaha, I've given the meaning relative or friend. You will also come across another word called bandhu. Just for, I think for what I will do is 1 second, if you don't mind. I'll just pause. So this is the word bandhuhu. Okay, that's another. So bandhuhu is also a relative or a friend. Okay, so then you can ask what is bandhu and what is bandhava. Why is, like, you know, for example, you will say anatha bandhu, dina bandhu, or dina bandhava. Both you will come across in bhajans. Dina bandhu, okay, or dina bandhava, dina bandhava, dina bandhava. Both are seen. Okay, brothers, thank you. So the thing is, it comes from the verb actually, bandh. Bandh is to bind, to tie, you know, to tie down somebody. It's called bandhu, a knot. So the thing is, most of our relatives with the mother, father, there is a bond. Bandham is a bond. That bondam comes out of snehidam, out of love or friendship or whatever. Okay. So that is the name for, that is the meaning for bandhu. But the bandhavaha comes, it's a derived word, noun from bandhu. So one can say a friend of a friend is a bandhava. Okay. It also can mean because of the Lord is called bandhava because the friend of a friend, you know, you can say. But you can also, the relative is also related, considered bandhava. Okay. But I would say bandhu is the first generation of word. Bandhavaha is a second generation of word. So, but both are used. So I thought I'll just mention that. So the meaning is prostration to the relative, friend to the entire world, or all the people. That's the meaning I've given. Lokabandhu, he's the friend to the entire world. He's the relative to the entire world. So that's the meaning of Loka Bandhavaha. We'll go to the next name.
Sai Ram, brother. I have a question.
Yes, sister.
Correct me if I'm wrong, because I always thought like Lok, Bandhu, and Sakha. I used to differentiate like Lok is everybody, and then Bandhu is related by lineage or something, and Sakha is friend. So Loka is like I'm not related, but I'm like, you know, you're bound in a certain way, but you're not bound like lineage.
Yes.
And Bandhu is like blood, and then Sakha is like friend. Is it? Or
Yes,
is it?
yes, sister. The thing is, I think it all depends on the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
See, some devotees like Surdas, he tells Krishna, Krishna, you can't escape me. I have tied you down in my heart.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then if you take my Yashoda, she tied him now. He can't escape.
Yeah.
Okay. So the level of
Closeness.
even
Yeah.
closeness, even with Swami, there are devotees who will just call him and scold him also, you know.
Yeah.
They have that kind of
The love.
ownership,
Yeah.
you know.
Ownership. Yeah.
So I think it is how we relate. But others would say Sakha means one who comes along with you and he is there for you, all your problems. So he's more of a friend.
Okay.
But I think both are the same. You know, a Sakha is a bandhu also. Depends. At different points, you know, they'll be different. But bandhu is someone with whom you can take liberties.
You're right. That's why there's so tumhi ho bandhu sakha tumhi. Yeah.
We
Okay.
can take
Thank you.
liberties with him, and so it's a level of cordiality or friendship.
Yeah.
Even
Got
some
it.
friends you can take liberties, some friends you cannot.
True.
It's like that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes,
Thank you for explaining so well.
Sairam, sister. Because this, I think, the more we think about it, when we next time we sit in front of Swami, how we
Mhm.
relate to him changes.
But that's what Sanskrit is so special, because in English we cannot have that level of how the words can explain so deep. It's amazing. Thank you.
Yeah, it gives you an opportunity to imagine. The word itself will trigger the imagination. Each
Yes.
letter and how it's formed. So
Yeah.
it makes us, it allows for contemplation
True.
of a certain kind. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. Sairam, brother.
Sairam. Om Shri Sai Loka Raksha Parayanaya Namaha. This is Uksha. The Sha is actually cerebral Sha.
என்னடா
Loka.
இல்லையடா இல்ல இல்லையடா
Loka Raksha Parayanaya Namaha. So the simple name or noun is Loka Raksha Parayanaha. Okay. So we have looked at the Loka word, world, all the people, everyone. Raksha is protection, one who protects, in this case. Parayanaha, one who is busy, that is his job. Okay. So the Lord whose job is to protect the world. That's the simple meaning. Prostration to the one who is ever engaged in protecting the world, all the people. So that is the job description of the Lord. Loka Raksha Parayanaya Namaha. To that Lord we bow down. So that's the meaning of this name. So this name is, next one is Om Shri Sai Loka Nathaya Namaha. The Tha is the second letter in the Tha Varga, so it's aspirated with a little extra. Loka Nathaya Namaha. We already looked at the word Natha, so it should be pretty simple for everyone now. Lokanatha is the simple noun. Loka is the world or all the people in the world. Natha is master, Lord or master. So prostration to the Lord of the world, Lord of all the people, master of all the people. So that is the meaning of this. Okay, again, same mistake, brother. Oh, yeah. Sorry, thank you.
Yes, sir.
I'm very, very sorry. Okay. I'll fix it quickly if you don't mind. Okay. Can you see now? Yeah, I think you should be able to see.
Yes.
Okay, so Lokanatha, the prostration to the Lord of the world, of all the people. That's the meaning I have given. We'll go to the next name. Om Shri Sai Dina Jana Poshanaya Namaha. Dina Jana Poshanaya Namaha. So the simple name is Dina Jana Poshana. Poshanaha. Dina Jana Poshanaha. The only thing is you have to pay attention is, I would say, this sh, which is a cerebral sh, and next to that the na becomes na. Okay, as I think to Brother Kumar's question. So just after that, because the tongue is already pointing up, sh, so the na actually turns into na. In how the in Sanskrit rules, if you go back to Panini's grammar, sutras, here that's Ashtadhyayi. These are some of the rules which he has given, how the sounds get transformed. So Poshanaya. So the na and na. Vidina Jana Poshanaha. So the word consists of three. It's a compound word. There are three individual components: Dina, Jana, and Poshanaha. So Dina means anyone who is weak, who doesn't have any power, helpless, powerless, downtrodden, meek. They don't have any, they can't do anything. Disabled also you can say. Jana means people, person, but in this case I will use the word people. Poshanaha. Poshana means nourishment. Energy, nourishment, but which comes out of nutrition. Okay, someone feeds, that's also Poshana. Pushti means health, general physical health, ability to do things. So all that is covered by the word Poshana. So one who, when we are weak, he will actually nourish us. He will, make us stronger, become strong. There are two ways he can. One is Sahaya, means he will come and do it for us, do the work which we have to do. That is Sahaya. But in this case, he will make us strong. He will make us healthy. He will make us have nutrition in our body, I would say. So Dina Jana Poshanaya Namaha. Prostration to the one who nourishes and nurtures the downtrodden and weak people. That's the meaning which I put down. This is the last one which I have chosen for today because I picked up 12. So the last one we will read. Om Shri Sai Murti Traya Swarupaya Namaha. Murti Traya Swarupaya Namaha. So Tra, you have to look at Swa, this is the way it's written. I think pronouncing should not be a problem for this, but just to read, I would say. So the simple noun is Murti Traya Swarupaha. Murti means, I put the word divine form. Any form is Murti. Usually in the spiritual context, we will say divine form of the Lord, Murti. The form which he has taken on. Traya means three. Swarupaha, I think we have discussed Rupa and Swarupa. Swarupa means your real self, not necessarily a form. Your original, your real form, if you want to put it that way. So I use the words real self. Prostration to the real self of the three divine forms. So what is these three divine forms? I think it's a question we can ask. Because any divine, the Atma, the Parabrahman, has three functions: creation, maintenance, and dissolution. Creation and one who looks up, that's Brahma who creates. Vishnu, who looks after the world, who maintains the world. And Shiva, who is the dissolver, he dissolves everything, destroys everything, and takes everything into himself. So these are the three functions of the real self. Swami would say each of us is also doing the same thing in everyday life. We create thoughts, we keep them, we destroy them. We can do all three. So those are aspects of the divine. So the divine self in everyone is capable of creating, maintaining what needs to be maintained, and destroying what needs to be destroyed or discarding. So the real Atman, God, that's all he is. So even within us, if we think there's divinity, that divinity is capable of doing that. Swami will say you should do good. That is Brahma. When you maintain whatever has to be maintained, good has to be maintained, that's Vishnu. What is not good is destroyed also. At the end, even the good things is absorbed within. So that is also Shiva. So the Lord within us does everything, and the Lord, that is the Lord. The real self of the Lord is a combination of these three activities. And that is what keeps this entire world go. And that's real divinity. So that is the Murtitraya. And you can put other meanings also, but I will just leave it at that. So you can say even the three bodies, Sthula, Sukshma, Karana, gross body, subtle body, causal body. Those are the different forms of the Brahman, which is unmanifest, Parabrahman. So that way also you can say. So I will, with those potential explanations, and I'm sure each of you can, in your contemplation, you will come up with your own. I will leave. It's 10 o'clock. These are the 12 names which I had chosen to discuss today. So I will stop here. There's nothing further for me to speak about this. I will, if anyone has any questions, we can discuss. Sai.
Sairam, brother.
Sairam, sister.
We have studied so much names now, but we have learned Swami's Patti Vasuni Namaha. But after I'm discussing about the Dwarahamai, then I was thinking it's a little bit of digression from what we are studying Sanskrit, but I would like to know what is the meaning of like Puttapatti means then, because just you have explained Dwarahamai, then I was thinking before it's a name of the place, and I never thought of that it has a meaning, another meaning to it, like a Dwarahamai is a mother is there kind of, is a one entrance to the mother. So like that, is there any other meaning for the Puttapatti you have? I would like to know the inner meaning of that, please. Thank you, Sairam.
Sairam, sister. So we'll go back to, I think, so 33rd name, Om Shri Sai Chitravati Tata Puttapatti Viharine Namaha. Okay, I think so. That's why Dwarakamai we discussed, Puttapatti we didn't discuss. Why partial treatment is what Sister Aruna is saying. So I think I will, this is not Sanskrit, this is Telugu. But we will discuss, it's okay. I think all of you know the story of Puttapatti, how the name came. Okay, originally the village was called Gollapalli. The Golla means cowherds. So it was a cowherd village. Palli means village. Gollapalli was the original name. Then apparently what happened, so many, they were farmers who had cows. They were rearing cows mainly. And one farmer's cow was supposed to be giving milk. It had given birth to a calf and it was giving milk. But every day it will go for grazing and come back and its udders were empty. So this farmer thought, somebody is milking the cow. And apparently one day he tried to go behind the cow to see where the cow is going and who is milking it. And he found that it went and stood near ant hill. And a snake came out, a serpent came out, and it was drinking the milk from the udder of the cow. Then he realized this is the culprit. So he is supposed to have taken a boulder and thrown at that snake, and that snake was killed. And the belief is, after that, because of the curse of the snake, their entire village was infested with ant hills. So in Tamil we will say puttu. So in Tamil, Telugu, it's called putta. That means it became filled with ant hills. So originally it was cows. Then cows could not even reside because there were snakes. The whole village was infested with snakes, and all the cows died, and that village became poor. That is why it called Putta Vart. So Swami says the original name was Putta Vartini. That means that flourish. The ant hills were flourishing there. So that is the name Putta Varti. Later on, colloquially, it's called Vikriti. Means words get changed. That Varti becomes Parthi. So that is the origin of the name Putta Parthi. So I've just given you that meaning. Then, after 1926, things changed. Now in Puttaparthi, again back to green land, because Nandagopala is born there. The cowherd has come again and made their entire village flourish. Now it has become almost a city in the world where everyone flocks together. That got transformed. So the Lord can come and live in something which is infested with ant hills. By moving around, he changes it into Prashanti Nilaya. So if in our hearts there are ant hills where there are snakes residing, all the bad qualities, and the Lord is not worried about it, he will come and reside there, and he will turn it into Prashanti Nilaya, or he will turn it into Vrindavan. If you take Lord Shiva, he's wearing snakes. So it's also a symbol of Shiva. You can take the story of Krishna, Kali and Ardhana. He was the snake, poisonous snake, which was causing problem to them, and he danced on it and he made it calm. So the Lord can dance, or he can live and move about and change any infested one, any anthill infested heart into anthill free land. That's why. So Puttaparthi Vyana means he is moving around in our Chitravati, means our thoughts are all over the place. Chittam. If you go to the banks of that Chitta, so you don't get caught up in the thought. Then you have food. Our mind is filled with all negative qualities, all sorts of bad qualities, and he moves about in that. And through that, he makes it Prashantanarya. Okay, that's the meaning of that. Swami has given another meaning also. Putta means to be born. Putra in Telugu, Puttava means you are born. So when we are born, our birth itself will flourish. The reason for our being born, it will also flourish. We'll get instilled. So the purpose of our birth will also be fulfilled by Puttaparthi. That's also another meaning Swami has given. So 2 meanings from
Thank you very
Swami's,
much, brother.
from
Thank you.
Swami's teachings. I hope that answers your question. Yes, Brother Tasan, you have a question.
So, Saram, brother, can you tell us the same thing, a little bit elaboration of what Baba saw the stone also, and still the stone is there, yeah?
Yes, so that stone is being worshipped. That stone itself, there's a temple for that stone. It is there in the village, the temple, because the people realized, even before Swami was born, they realized their mistake. So the snake was gone, but the snake had left a mark on that stone. It was so that stone itself became an object of worship, and it's still worshipped there in the village.
Thank you.
And that's how the Lord is born. Because people many people don't understand. We think Swami. Everything is Swami's life, and that village didn't have anything. People for suffering for basic necessities. One of the driest place in this world, in Anantapur district, was considered one of the driest place. So even the rainfall was very poor when Swami was born, and Swami was a child. Actually, till the late 70s, it was considered one of the driest regions of India. But things changed. Now it's green everywhere in Prashantan area. That itself is a miracle by itself. I hope it's okay, brother.
Yeah, thank you, brother.
So that's all. I don't have anything more to share today.
Uncle, is there some significance to that snake that was killed? Like, why was it so bad that he killed the snake, that they got this curse?
Swami has not mentioned any specific. Say in India, actually, if you go to astrology, they will say Nagadosham. A snake is not supposed to be killed. That is the belief in Indian tradition, because it symbolizes something significant. So there are many stories in which you will see that snake is given an importance. So you can ask, why snake? I think even if there's something poisonous, something negative in this world, that does not justify us killing it. Okay, even if there's something negative, we should not kill it, because the Lord has given form to that snake. So the thing is, if we want intervention, we should reach out to the Lord. If we take matters into our own hands and destroy it, kill it, we can, chase it away. But the belief in Indian, even a snake you should not kill. That is, so I think that is a spirit, and nothing in this world should be put to death, because God is the one who has given life, and He has all the rights to take it away. And if we do something to the life, basically, I'm not talking about punishment or anything like that. We have nothing wrong with safeguarding ourselves, but we should not take life, and even from a snake, even if it is threatening your life. I think that's my understanding of its significance, sister. But so they will say, you don't have any problem. They will say, go and pray to some snakes. It's a very common thing in India. So that's my understanding. But I am not personally. This I'm talking in general. Swami has not specifically talked about it. Okay, Saira. And Brother Kumar, you have a question.
Yes, I think in Sri Sai, Sri Baba says, right, we don't have the right to take even life of any in his books, in his Leela, he talks about that, not to kill even a snake. Whether to kill a snake, he says, you don't have the right to even take any life because you are same as the snake. He explains that in one of his Leela magazines.
Yes.
So because he's the Vayapula, yeah?
I have a question. You know that in Tirumandaram, Tirumulanar talks about, which you talked about creation, but then there is two more functions that he says that Sadashivam, Shiva does it, is Maraital and
Arulal and Maraital.
Is that ever mentioned in Sanskrit in any form?
See, it is also mentioned as one of Shiva's rules, okay? Arulal Maraital. So the thing is, the functions, that's also given, brother, because the Shiva is supposed to be with five faces. That is the way it is. When we say Shiva means, it's not the Shaivite Shiva, it is the Maheshwara Swarupa. It is the all-encompassing Lord. So it's supposed to have 5 faces and the 5 functions. So those 2 functions in the Arulal and Maraital, they are in the spiritual realm. But these 3 are in the physical realm. So those are also mentioned. But not unless you go into very deep esoteric philosophy, it is not it's not mentioned widely. Just the way Tirumular is the one, unless you are reading some Saiva Siddhanta topics, these 2 do not come. So if you say Maraital is, Maya itself is Maraital. One who removes the Maya is the one who reveals. So these are present, but common man is not interested. Common man is interested in birth. Can we have a good life? And I don't want to die. So these get prominence. But the 5 are mentioned, brother. But it's in certain esoteric texts only it's mentioned. So if you take Rudram, then we'll go into a complete different topic. If you take Rudram, there's no topic which the Rudram doesn't touch. Okay, which is considered the essence of the entire Yajurvedam. It covers everything.
Yes, that Tirumulanar talks about Rudram, and that's good that you brought. He says Padaital is Brahma, Vishnu, but Itrumal. But what he says is that Shiva does all 5 functions, and Rudram is one of the functions that he does, the dissolution. People call destruction. Actually, it's a dissolution. He basically creates and dissolve and recreates. That's the cosmic dance. I mean,
cycle.
Cycle. I know, when you have already talked about it many times, actually. That's very fantastic. Whenever I come in the morning here listening to you, it's awesome. Thank you, brother. I much appreciate.
Because the word Shiva itself means auspiciousness.
Auspiciousness, yes.
So that is, the Arulal is Shiva. So that's why Tirumular say, Anbe Sivam, Anbe Sivam, there's nothing more to say. Love is God. Love is auspiciousness. So it's the same thing. See, these are great. See, many of the these people like Tirumular, they didn't distinguish. They took knowledge to all the corners of the world, and they distilled that knowledge and gave it. There are not too many people understand Tirumandaram. It's one of the most neglected subjects. If you read if you read Tirumandaram and Tirumular, you will know the original Tamil is Sanskrit. There's no difference. It is just that over time, many things is lost, brother. That is what has happened now. Because we have lost, we don't even understand things. Tirumular says, I was in Kailai with 5 my brothers, and I've come. That's the way it. Agastya is supposed to have come in search of Tirumular.
Yes.
A long lost friend. There's no, wherever they went, they spread the knowledge. For them, the language was only a means. They were part of Shiva. Very nice. I hope it's more than Sanskrit. It's as long as we spend time thinking about something positive, that's all matters, and that's the whole purpose of language itself. And if that serves the purpose, I'm happy. I enjoy it myself. It's contemplation, reflection, and thanks for patiently listening to my my talk, Sai Ram.
Sairam, I just would like to point out this, since he brought up this Maraital in Saiva Siddhanta philosophy. I think, to my knowledge, what I remember is there are two aspects of Maraital. One is we believe in reincarnation, birth after birth, and then to give temporary rest. Lord Shiva gave to those souls temporary kind of sort of rest. Again, they put in a dormant state. That one, this thing. The other thing is past karma memories. Maraital comes in, make them disappear from the soul's memory, so that the purpose of creation will keep going, and also they will not that memory. If all those memories there, then it won't. It is beyond, control, that sort of thing. I think. Sairam.
Yeah. So the thing is, see, some of these concepts are, coming. I don't know if people are interested. I'll just spend a couple of minutes. These are all coming from the Dvaita philosophy. In the Dvaita philosophy, the individual Atmans remain individual Atmans forever. So the philosophy came up with, the Lord, puts them in some storage, and then again they come back to life, the Anmas. That is a Dvaita philosophy, which is equally valid. But in Advaita philosophy, they will say all these five are going on continuously. There are people born, there are people dying. And so in their Advaita philosophy, this is a continuous phenomenon. This is a cyclical phenomenon, but it's continuous. But in the dualistic world, we are waiting for one day of dissolution, which is very common in all religions also. Other, Western religions, I would say, Abrahamic religions. They are all in the Dvaita, they will see one day the world will dissolve, and people are scared about that. They will say, when will it come? Will it come now, or should we wait? All those questions come in the Dvaita philosophy. In the Advaita philosophy, they will say, so everything is dissolved. There's nothing. It's all one. But what you see is, when that is gone, it's all dissolved. So it is a philosophy also different, brother. But Swami is Advaitic philosopher. So for him, all these functions are happening every time, every second, simultaneously. So that is Advaita philosophy, and Vishishtadvaitam has its own flavor. So I don't know, well, but anyway, nice. But I think all of them are valid based on however we want to view the world, and that's it. So there are two comments. I will just see if there's something. Yes, thank you. Okay.
Sairam, Uncle, can I just ask one quick question?
Yes.
In the previous, like the third Ashtotram, we had learned about Sathya, Dharma, Parayana.
Yes.
And then now we also learned about Parayanaya here too.
Yes.
Previously, we had talked about Parayanaya being like Para, the last or the best, and Ayana being the goal, or like the one who is the last resort. But here, Parayanaya, we're saying it's one who is engaged in. Are they just two different definitions, or can they be?
They all related. They're related meaning, Kalyani, because Parayana means one who is otherwise employed, otherwise occupied. Because the Lord actually doesn't have to do anything. But Ayana means actually movement.
Oh.
Okay, Ayana actually means movement. So the Lord, in its natural sense, is without any movement, is not functioning. But when he functions, he comes out. Okay, so Apara is out, Ayana is movement. moving towards. Like Swami would say, Narayana means, who is Narayana means? The one who moves towards the Nara is Narayana. Or the one towards whom the Nara moves is Narayana. You know, the person to whom the man moves towards is Narayana. So, see, we think any function in the spiritual world is movement towards the Lord, or the Lord moving towards the devotee. Every action, you know, we may think certain actions only take us to the Lord. No, the Lord will say every action will take you to the Lord. Every action is actually movement towards the Lord, or the Lord moving towards. So there are only two movements happening: the devotee moving towards the Lord with every action, every thought. The Lord moving towards the devotee with every action and thought. So where the Nara and Narayana meet, there's merger. So all movements is action. Okay, the action is to move the devotee towards him, or the Lord moving towards the devotee. So that's the ayana. See, in Sanskrit, if you look at it, what is action? Is something. If you do any action, actually something is moving towards something else. Okay, so but then it takes on different flavors of meaning, depends on the context. Okay, so that's the way I would understand it. But you know, simple meaning is okay. Parayana means it has multiple meanings. If you take the dictionary, they will list all the meanings. But actually, they are all derived from contemplation of the root. Okay, so every action is actually a movement towards something. You know, if you go and work, you are moving towards money. You know, if you go to the, you know, so things like that. So always move, but ultimate movement or journey is towards the Lord. So every action, thought, word should be done in such a way that it should take us forward towards the Lord. Because the God does everything so that he will move closer to the devotee. So that's my understanding. So very nice question.
Oh, thank you. That really clears it up. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Okay. Because Swami has see, you may be thinking Swami has talked about Ramayana. The meaning every Ramanavami discourse, Swami will spend at least 5 minutes on this topic of Ramayana. Means Rama moving towards. Where is he moving? That's why people ask why this name Ramayana is given to the story of Rama. Where is he moving? Is he moving to the forest? No, he was busy moving towards the Lord, towards the devotees. So it's all borrowed. It's all whatever alms or the gifts of Swami that I'm sharing. Thank you.
Thank you
But
so
good
much.
question. Good question.
And also the word ananda, like, is there any like deeper meaning, or it's just one word, ananda?
So Ananda comes from the word Nanda. Okay. That which keeps on coming again and again is Ananda. Okay. There are meaning. If I mean, I have not. Now that you're asking, maybe I should dwell on it. I have not. I cannot unpeel the layers of Nanda because I have not spent much time. I'm sure there's much more meaning. You know, you can say when do you really get bliss? When you negate everything in this world. So that's why the word na is also there in that. Neti, neti means not this, not this, not this. If you go do that, one day you will be in bliss. Because so Ananda. But I have not spent much time unpeeling Ananda. But I'm sure there is much more to it.
Thank you. And you said Nanda itself means something?
Nanda itself is joy.
Oh, it means joy. Okay.
Joy. Nandayati iti Nanda. You know, so that which grants joy is Nanda. Okay, but one that gives lasting joy is Ananda.
Okay.
Okay, like you know, we have Yashoda Nandana means one who gave joy to Yashoda. Devaki Nandana means one who gave joy to Devaki. But Nanda is, when colloquial usage, Nanda is used as child. Because the mother is like the child children give joy to. So it's like, sometimes Xerox, everyone thinks photocopying is Xerox. But things like that. Certain words have gotten used in common usage. They've taken on certain meanings. So Nanda is also mean child, but actually the one who grants joy is Nanda. Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome. So I think it's 10:29. So we'll close for today. I hope it was of some use. Saira. Om Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Samastaloka Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Sairam, everyone.